morning. Good morning. I am Michael Garza, and I have the distinct pleasure in being your MC today and welcoming you to CPS Energy's Veterans Day celebration. This is a day when we recognize and honor all veterans, even those no longer with us, including our own nearly 300 veterans here at CPS Energy. Please stand for the presentation of colors by the Breckenridge High School Junior ROTC Elite Male Color Guard, and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem performed by CPS Energy employee John Reeves. Veterans, you are permitted to salute or place your hand over your heart for the national anthem. The American flag bearer and commander of the Color Guard is Cadet Captain Joshua Espitia. The Texas flag bearer is Cadet First Sergeant Isaiah Reyes. The Guards are Cadet First Lieutenant Justin Villasana and Cadet Captain Joel Vera.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Thank you, John, for that powerful rendition. Much more meaningful than the MP3 file we were going to play. Before we go on, I'd just like to recognize a few areas that helped put this event together. Corporate communication for working with Veterans Connection in the planning of not just today's event, but all the activities that we've had over the last few weeks. And Unified Communications, who installed the cable so that we could live stream this event today. And also Desktop Services for helping us out with the audio and video. Thank y'all. You know, last year when we had our Veterans Day event, you may remember that Paula mentioned that she wanted to have a month of activities to recognize our veterans this year. You may have seen some of the activities over the past few weeks, but I'd like to recap a few. We've gone out to a few other facilities to put on a similar program like today's event to recognize our veterans. We went out to Spruce, Mission Road twice, Southwest Service Center. They all went very well, and the employees were really appreciative of us going out to them and putting on that program for the veterans. We've had our Red Fridays to remember everyone deployed. A lot of you have supported that by wearing red t-shirts on Fridays. Thank you. As I mentioned, I didn't mention this, but we had the Texas Veterans Commission come out to discuss VA benefits with our employees and spouses. We did have a spouse in attendance. That was a very valuable learning session that we have, and we learned a lot on VA benefits. Corporate communication has done a few feature stories on some of our veterans, and marketing has put out a daily photo of some of our veterans on CPS Energy's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. And tomorrow is Boots on Vets. Veterans, tomorrow, come wearing your old combat boots, your desert boots, jungle boots, jump boots, whatever you got. Come out wearing your boots, all right? Just make sure you spit shine them, because there will be a formation and inspection in the morning. So those are a few things that we've done, and I'd like to thank Paul for giving us a month to recognize our veterans, and thank you as well for participating and supporting these events. As Paul had said last year, Veterans Day is a day when we honor our veterans, but we should not limit it to just one day. We should always honor our veterans. So by a show of hands, how many veterans and service members, National Guardsmen and Reservists, do we have out here this morning? Hooah. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You are one of 18 million veterans in this great country. Now that number may seem like a lot, and it is, but when you compare it with the rest of the U.S. population of nearly 330 million, you are less than 6% of the U.S. population. You are less than 6% who chose to serve and defend this country. You are less than 6% who can claim the title of veteran. And you are less than 6% who wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including your lives. So again, thank you. Thank you for your service. And I would encourage all of you to thank a veteran. Because as you know, many of our older veterans were not welcomed back when they came back from war. Many were verbally abused, and that's putting it lightly. Nobody ever thanked them for their service. But you know, those guys and gals are the first ones to thank our current service members and to support them, because they don't want them to go through what they did. So next time you see one, just give them a thank you. And you see those veterans all the time, especially right here in Military City, USA. They're the old guy or gal wearing the ball cap that says Vietnam veteran, Korean War veteran, World War II veteran. Yeah, there's still some World War II vets around, hanging tough. Our debt to our veterans can never be repaid, but our gratitude and our respect must last forever. It's never too late to thank a veteran. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the families of our veterans and service members. The spouses, sons and daughters, parents. Many times they have to hold down the fort while our service members deployed. They may have to take on new responsibilities like making sure all the bills are getting paid, mowing the lawn, taking the car to get fixed when it breaks down, or taking the kids wherever they need to be. We can't forget the families. They are just as much a part of the military as our service members and veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce the president of Veterans Connection, James Carter.
Thank you, Mike, for having me. Welcome, CPS employees, veterans, non-veterans, family members, and our distinguished guests, as well as the members of the Brackenridge High School who presented the colors today. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. On November 11th, 1918, Armistice Day was declared. This marked the end of World War I, and is what we remember as Veterans Day, that later changed in observation of all service members who serve this great nation. It is because of many of you in the audience today that we are here to say thank you as an individual, as a company, and as a nation. We thank you all for your service. And as we thank our veterans today, let us not forget the family members who stood by their side, and lastly, those who continue to carry the torch today, donning the uniform day in and day out. You are not forgotten with us as well. I am delighted to be here amongst you as a member of Vet Connect and also as a member of the CPS Energy family. I am proud to be part of an organization that supports and welcomes veterans and their family members. I want to express my gratitude to Paula Gold-Williams, our CEO and president, and the CPS Energy leadership team for making us a priority in this organization. I also want to thank Frank Alvarez, who is the Vet Connect executive sponsor and whom I've had the pleasure of working with. He is dedicated to the veterans, not only here in CPS, but also in the city of San Antonio, and we appreciate that. And lastly, I want to express my gratitude to all of you in the audience today for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support to our veterans in this great nation. I would like to transition to introduce you to Paula Gold-Williams, who's going to be presenting on the monitor today. If I'd like to direct your attention to our monitor for a brief message.
So here we are. This is your group of vice presidents. We are in a work session trying to go through many activities and figure out how to do better. But then we had an opportunity to take a break and talk about our veterans and talk to you. We are so appreciative that you have spent time serving our country, keeping our citizens and our country safe. You've completed that service, and then you turned right around to come work for CPS Energy. We are mission-driven, but we are so enabled by the fact that you're mission-driven. And so thank you so much for everything you do every day and all of the character and core values that you bring forward. So from all of us, thank you for your military and CPS Energy service. So I wanted to take a little bit more of an opportunity to focus on the fact that we are honored to have veterans work for us. And I asked a few of our leaders who have been connected to the military themselves to kind of share why not just that military service that is important, but why we look for and appreciate having veterans on our team. And so I'm going to pass the mic, and we're going to share our thoughts a bit more.
Thank you. Just wanted to say to all the veterans, you've done a great job in serving the country, but what we look for, that sense of duty, that sense of purpose, the ability to work a process, willingness to accept training, these are all positive steps that we need to develop good employees, good leaders throughout the rest of their career.
Yeah, I'd like to just echo John's comments that through the military training and through people's careers and the deployments they've had to learn how to think of the broader team and the broader community and the broader country and who they're serving. And the people we have on our team who are veterans, you can clearly see that they have a lot of these qualities. And so I also want to thank those veterans that are at CPS Energy that are serving so well.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for your service, first and foremost. I just want to say that the idea of mission first, people always sort of feathers really well into our objectives here at CPS Energy to be people first. It's being a servant leader. It's about recognizing that we are here to serve a broader mission of serving our community and being really focused on that while always remembering that our people are our greatest responsibility to keep them safe, to develop them, and all in service to our community. So thank you for your service now and also for your service with the Armed Forces. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day and a great week.
Thank you, Paula, and the CPS leadership team for those remarks. Now I'd like to bring up to you our guest speaker, Frank Alvarez. He's our Chief of Staff and Business Development Officer. Chief Administrative and Business Development Officer. Sorry, we got a demotion for a second.
That'll be good.
Thank you.
I'm watching the videos on the monitor, and I'm reminded that the camera adds 10 pounds. So it's a humbling experience to see yourself on camera. Good morning and welcome. I want to just take a second to thank a number of folks. Obviously, thanks to all the veterans here, but thank you to the president of the Vet Connect organization, James Carter, who does so much, and thank you to our vice president, Brooks Bedell. Thank you to Mike Garza, who did so much in developing this event. Thank you to Candy, who made the cake. Thank you to everybody that had a hand in putting this event together. I'm truly grateful to be here and part of this celebration as we take a moment to honor our CPS Energy veterans and recognize all those who have served in the military and your families. No matter what branch of service that you were in, or your years of service, or the role that you played, committing yourself and your family to service is a noble, selfless act and one of true honor. We're here today to acknowledge our veterans' courage, their dedication, and their sacrifices. Serving the military is a calling that is something bigger than ourselves, and it's something to be proud of. In fact, at a 24/7 operation like we have here at CPS Energy, serving our community, there is more in common with the military than you might be immediately apparent. We spend a lot of time with our coworkers and develop some lifelong bonds. I've heard about those retiree celebrations that we all aspire to get to go to. They sound like a lot of fun. Recently, I was in Korea for an event that I had to attend, and one of my really good friends from a long time ago, he's in the Army now, is at Camp Humphreys. He was at Yongsan a number of years back and is now at Camp Humphreys south of Seoul. And I let him know that I was going to be in town, and he dropped everything to meet me at the hotel. I'd been on a 12-and-a-half-hour flight. I got to the hotel. He was in the lobby waiting. We went upstairs. I threw some stuff in the closet, and then we went walking. And he showed me all around, and we had a lot of fun. And it was like we hadn't been away for 10 or 15 years. And it's bonds like that, those lifelong bonds that we develop through service and here at CPS Energy. When we spend this much time with each other, it's a really rewarding thing to have those kinds of connections with people. As a former member of the Army National Guard, I'm humbled to lead an area that champions the company's core values to create a culture of putting people first, accountability, and excellence. All of these are attributes that were instilled in us through our military service. Thinking back, I'm so appreciative of the dedicated men and women in uniform with whom I worked alongside during my short time as part of the greatest force for good that the world has ever known. The lessons I learned during those years continue to serve me well today. In 2009, Harvard Business Review published an article entitled, and it's a really imaginative article title, by the way, it was "Military Servant Leadership is Valuable for the Private Sector." But it's true. The author described unique aspects of military service that align with that of a servant leader. Military leadership is based on a concept of duty, service, and self-sacrifice. We take an oath to that effect. The author notes that corporate leaders should recognize and encourage military culture's training toward generosity and self-sacrifice. Tie selflessness with the adaptive capacity, innovation, and flexibility demanded by dangerous contexts. And one can see the value of military leadership as a model for leaders in the private sector and everywhere. The core of what we do as a municipally owned utility is to serve our community. We live in a time where we can't imagine being without the basic necessities of electric light and gas. Harder still is it to imagine a world where we do not enjoy the freedoms that former and current service members have fought to protect. And with that in mind, as the full-service energy provider of our community, of Military City, USA, I offer a hearty thank you to our CPS Energy veterans. I'll now hand it back over to Mike Garza. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank, for those kind remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please bow your heads as we will now have a moment of silence for our veterans who are no longer with us. Thank you. Okay, we'll now play our Armed Forces medley. If you'd like to sing along, the words on the back of your program, they will be played in that order. Veterans, service members, I know you've heard these songs before, so I expect you to sing loud and proud when they come on. right, good job, everyone. I think the Army took that one. Okay, so we're now at the final portion of our program. In the military, for a service branch's birthday, by the way, happy birthday, Marines. 244 years old yesterday. Can I get a hoorah? Can I get a hoorah? All right, Marines. So as I was saying, for a service branch's birthday, Veterans Day, or any event where we have a cake, there is the traditional cutting of the cake, where we have the youngest and oldest service member come up and cut it. So we're going to do that today, so I need some participation. So by a show of hands from our veterans and service members, who is younger than 40? One here. All right. Younger than 35? Okay. 34? 33? 32? 31? 30. Anybody younger than 31? All right, sir, come on up, please. Come up to the podium. All right. So can you tell everybody, please, your name, your branch of service, and your years of service?
Good morning. I'm Javier Hernandez. I was in the Army 6 years, 9 months. Actually, just got out last year.
Okay. By another show of hands, I'm going to start a little higher this time. Who is older than 50? All right, a lot of y'all. 55. 60? 60, okay. How about 65? 65? All right, 66? 66? All right, sir, can you come on up, please? Thank you. And can you tell everybody your name, branch of service, and years of service?
Yes, my name is Joe Jones, and I was in the Army Reserves for 6 years.
Thank you, Joe. All right, Army. Okay, Javier and Joe, could I get you to go right here behind the cake? And James is going to help you there. James, if you could get them into position. Now, it is also tradition to cut the cake with a ceremonial sword. So, James, could you please carefully unsheath the sword and hand it to Javier and Joe? We don't need any safety incidences today. EIP is looking good. Okay, guys, so on the count of 3, you're going to come straight down and whack the cake, all right? On 3. Don't break my sword. 1, 2, 3. All right. We would like to get all the veterans and service members to come up for a group photo in front of the flags. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day today to honor our veterans. And remember, thank a veteran or service member next time you see one. God bless our veterans, God bless our service members, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
CPS Energy. Thank you for serving our country. Happy Veterans Day.
I would really like to take this opportunity to thank all of you, our veterans here in CPS Energy, for your commitment to serving our country.
I want to take the opportunity to thank all the men and the women who served in all the military branches.
Every one of our CPS Energy employees who has given us the life we get to enjoy. We should all feel that gratitude.
To the fellow co-workers and the family at CPS Energy, I'd like to say thank you very much for your service.
I just want to thank all the CPS Energy team members who have served in the military. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you for your service. I'm very proud of all of you all, and thank you for everything you have done to protect our freedom. And I'm proud to be an American.
Looked very rangy. Yes, it was. What's peeking into the frame of my shot? Yeah. Hanging out the side of that boat. Yeah. But it's definitely cropped. Yeah, I have no problem showing you. Yeah.
Thank you, all of you who work here at CPS Energy. Thank you for serving our country. Happy Veterans Day.
I would really like to take this opportunity to thank all of you, our veterans here in CPS Energy, for your commitment to serving our country.
I want to take the opportunity to thank all the men and the women who served in all the military branches.
Every one of our CPS Energy employees who has given us the life we get to enjoy. We should all feel that gratitude.